because he will protect and strengthen the free SHS policy, which by all accounts has been a successful initiative, has been a thoughtful initiative, has been a compassionate initiative, has been a right initiative. Barring whatever implementation challenges it has been one of the major interventions in education in our country, and it is good for our people, and it has facilitated the education of some 5.7 million Ghanaian students. And I think that we should do everything we can in our power on December 2nd and 7th to ensure the preservation of this policy for our own children, for our siblings, our nephews and nieces to participate or benefit from this initiative. Bawumia again is a better choice for us Ghanaians than the alternative, because Bawumia will expand healthcare access by completing the Agenda 111 projects, equipping and operationalizing them, and ensuring job satisfaction for all healthcare professionals. Bawumia is a better choice for us on December 7th and December 2nd and 7th, because Bawumia will be accountable to Ghanaians, because he has 8 years allowable under the 1992 Constitution to be president. Therefore, he will necessarily deliver on these promises, some of which I have read to you, in order to merit your gifting him of a second chance when the time comes. Unlike the alternative, who has only 4 years to go, and later on I'll tell you about his own assessment of being having 4 years and what you can do with 4 years. Bawumia again is a better option, and as I told you earlier, he's been described variously, but one of such impactful and perhaps relevant description of him, which comes from people's experience of him, is that he is a thinker and a doer. And much of these ideas that we've spoken about, most of them are very new and incisive ideas. Just how we can be able to arrest the depreciation of the cedi and be able to bring down fuel costs in our country, and it comes up with this Gold for Oil initiative, which has helped in the limited period of time, which has helped to earn Ghana about 2.79 billion in foreign exchange to settle our obligations. That is incisive. And beyond that, I want to just let you know, Ghana, you have heard growing up, and if you go to Obuasi and many of the mining communities, we have been mining in this country for forever. But our own balance of gold, our gold reserve, was just about 9 tons when we started the gold purchase program by the Bank of Ghana. Can you imagine that? A gold mining company, a gold mining country, and all our reserve is 9 tons. About 8.7 tons was what we had to our name. But gold is a prized mineral. All we had was 8.9. By Dr. Bawumia's innovation and policy idea, we have started the Bank of Ghana Gold Purchase Program. Our reserve has incrementally gone up, and I think that if with time, we'll probably become one of the countries in the sub-region with the highest gold reserve, and that will be good for our economy, that will be good for our currency, and that will be good for our collective prosperity. Dr. Bawumia again is good and better for Ghana, because Bawumia's economic plan is designed to make the Ghanaian youth globally competitive through his focus on information technology, coding and programming, robotics, AI, and the Internet of Things. That is a future economy, and Bawumia's ideas would put the Ghanaian on the center stage and make us competitive. And one of the reasons for this is that the globe is trending that way. AI is taking over. If we make a mistake and elect the alternative, they have no idea, they don't believe in it. They don't believe in it, their ideas don't align with the trend of the globe. And as my deputy is just suggesting, you remember the kinds of things they are talking about. Small ball politics. They are saying things that will tickle your fantasy in a sense that not necessarily taken in a positive way, but to make you angry, to incite you against a government that is trying to do the best. I submit to you that if indeed there were any reasons why I think that you should vote for the NDC, I'll tell you. Because ultimately, whatever good idea they have, the implementation of it will help our country. But I can honestly tell you, this is no politics, this is not me trying to get you to vote for my candidate, the vice president, or our parliamentary candidates, but it's just plain truth. The NDC doesn't have it. They don't have it. Honestly, they don't. And you've been here, I've come here to tell you about their 24-hour economy. It's a great deception. Those who cannot keep the lights on for 12 hours say that they can give us 24-hour economy. It's a great deception. We shouldn't do that. The consequence of any election is enduring and in some cases generational. And we cannot afford to make this mistake. This is a pivotal moment for our country, and the decision we are going to make, we cannot take it personally. We cannot make it lightly. We should make it looking at the impact it would have on the future of our country and beyond. So I submit to you that Bawumia should be our choice. Bawumia means business, which means that he's better for Ghana. He would integrate the private sector into fiscal policy operations to deliver critical infrastructure, create meaningful jobs, and increase productivity. And most of us, we talk about roads, we talk about hospitals, talk about schools, and all of that. One of the ingenious ways Dr. Bawumia is proposing is that will include the private sector in the delivery of this infrastructure. And you know always, you pay attention to the budget, and if you look at government allocation for capital expenditure, they're often limited. How are you able to deliver all the infrastructure needs in any particular year with that limited amount of money? The one sure way to do it is to ensure that we engage in providing, in integrating the private sector to build these infrastructures, and they will leverage that for ensuring that we achieve the infrastructural deficits that are in our country and ensure our people are better off than they were before. Bawumia means jobs. Again, I told you about the 1 million youth project to train about youth in IT development skills and make them globally employable. There are many more reasons I can tell you why Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is better than the alternative John Dramani Mahama of the NDC. Simply because across this country, there is a general consensus among people that the Vice President, His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has performed better in office than any Vice President in recent history. As stated earlier, Bawumia's initiative has led to Bawumia has initiated and implemented successfully about some 33 initiatives as Vice President, and I submit to you that as President, he will do exceedingly more than that. So ladies and gentlemen of the media, I am sure, permit me to be a bit more pastoral at this point, I am sure you recall the parable of the bag of gold in Matthew 25:14 through 30. I summarize for you. A master entrusted his wealth to 3 of his servants. He gives 5 bags to one, 2 bags of gold to another, and 1 bag of gold to the third. The first 2 servants doubled the gold and returned it to the master upon his return. The third servant went straight and buried the bag of gold in the field and returned it to the master when he arrived. You know the details in between. The master was pleased with the first 2 servants, but cast out the third servant into the darkness. Ladies and gentlemen, Bawumia is an example of the good and faithful biblical servant because he has served Ghana well and deserves commendation, and reward. The master in verses 28 and 30 made the following declarations, and I quote, "So, take the bag of gold from him and give it to the one who has 10 bags. For whoever has will be given more, and they will have in an abundance. Whoever does not have, even what they have will be taken from them, and throw that worthless servant outside into the darkness, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth." I didn't say this is a Bible. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is an example of the biblical wicked and lazy servant who did not live up to expectation in his 4 years as president of this republic. Ladies and gentlemen, like the master in Matthew 25, Ghanaians must vote on December 7th, or maybe let me go back a bit. Like the master, we voted in 2016 to cast out John Dramani Mahama because he had not met expectation. But somehow in 2020, he thought that the verdict on him in 2016 was a flash in the pan. So he came again in 2020, and we roundly confirmed that our decision was absolute and clear in 2016. So again, we voted him out. He thought himself he didn't understand. He went to the court, didn't have any evidence, and he was roundly rejected. A unanimous verdict against his bogus claim. The petition, the 2021 petition, election petition, was roundly rejected, just like the Ghanaians. Now, in 2024, he's going to try us again. He's trying us again. And with all humility, I entreat us all to give the NPP a landslide victory in a way to retire the former president permanently from politics. We must reject former President John Dramani Mahama because his 4 years as president brought untold hardship to Ghanaians. We slept in doomsday during those years. Businesses were destroyed. Youth employment broke world records, and the growing economy he inherited was collapsing by the time he left office. Most revealing is the fact that former President John Dramani Mahama gave up when his mismanagement made life difficult, and Ghanaians demonstrated to demand better economic management. He said no amount of demonstration, and I'm sure you remember this. He said no amount of demonstration will move him because he was a dead goat. Ladies and gentlemen, the balance of a leader's job is dealing with challenges. But from what we have seen from the former president, he has shown that he cannot deal with challenges. Therefore, on December 7, we must vote to show the former President John Dramani Mahama and the NDC that we, the people of Ghana, cannot afford the risk of electing a president who cannot respond to our needs in challenging times. The former president did not perform well, and this is essentially a matter known to all of us, and it's evident in the vote in 2016 and 2020. Did not perform well in office between 2013 and 2016. So he does not merit the reward, and given the scripture, we should not reward him. This is especially true when all he has is 4 years. And here's where I promised you I'll tell you about his own view about 4 years and what one can use it to do. He says 4 years is not enough to make a difference as a government. And so the question is, what has changed? The question is, what is it coming to do? The question is it now true that 4 years is enough to make a difference? Those are questions I know our former president cannot answer, which then goes to the heart of why we shouldn't vote for him, because he can't make any difference He himself has said it, and it's a practical impossibility for him to do it. But rather, His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has what it takes, has the allowable 8 years to be able to deliver in the first 4, to give a good account of himself so we can give him another 4 years. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, voting for the former president, John Dramani Mahama, will amount to taking Ghana back, and you and I cannot afford to take Ghana backward when our peers in the sub-region are striving forward. We the people, as I just read to you in scripture, are the masters of Ghana's destiny. We've entrusted our powers in the former president before, and we are about to do so again with a choice between him and His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. And the invitation is for you, based on his delivery in the first 4 years, and based on the scripture we have read, since he has not performed well, he deserves no reward. So on December 7th, your decision must reflect the wisdom of the parable we just read in the Bible, to reward the good and faithful servant of the people, being Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, with your vote, because he has shown the potential to do even better for Ghanaians as president. Finally, let me make the appeal to you as you vote on December 2nd, and most of us on December 7th, starting with the special voting. Please cast your ballot for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and the NPP parliamentary candidates. That will be number 1 across all the ballots, in line with what you know to be true, and what your expectations are, that when you give a piece of job to someone to do, those who do a good job, you invite again. Those who do a poor job, you will not invite. The verdict is clear on the former president's performance, 4-year performance in office. This is not me saying it. You and I, we voted massively in unprecedented manner to send him home, simply because he didn't perform. And I invite you that we don't reward him because he had failed us. He had not been a faithful, he's not been a good and faithful servant of the people of Ghana. So therefore, on December 7th, let's vote for the one who has been faithful, who has been good to Ghanaians. His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia should be your choice on December 7th or on December 2nd when you take the lead to vote in the special voting. Thank you very much for coming.
You do the tree version, but I want you to look at this one. Address it very well. The police has issued a statement. So we have sent